Yo, 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 it is Sunday, the 13th of January 2013. WND Faith. Have faith out there, O ye of little faith. WND exclusive court rules Unborn as child. Judges affirmed the value of all life, including those most vulnerable of all, by Bob Unruh. A ruling from the Alabama Supreme Court has concluded that a reference in state law that prevents exposing children to dangerous chemicals also protects an unborn child. While the decision itself is unrelated to abortion, in a court where at least one justice has advocated overturning Roe v. Wade, the decision today in Ankrom v. State undoubtedly will be referenced again. The case upheld the convictions of two women, Hope Ankron in Coffee County, and Amanda Kimbrough of Colbert County, or Colbert County, if you take it that way, who were prosecuted for using drugs during their pregnancies. The state law originally was intended to prevent parents from operating meth labs around children, or allowing children to be in meth labs, or does not mention the unborn. But the decision said the plain meaning of the word child in the Chemical Endangerment Statute includes unborn children. Matthew Staver, founder of Liberty Counsel, a pro-life law firm that filed an amicus brief in the case, said, in personal injury, criminal, and wills and estate law, the trend has been to recognize the unborn child as a human with legal protections, not merely a potential human being. That's right. A child in the womb is a real-life person with a soul. I can't imagine being on the pro-life team because I haven't been. I mean, I have been lukewarm as a Christian for most of my life, thanks to the devil and his deceptions. But I have been blessed and called to be a servant. Not a servant, but a son of the living God in heaven, on earth, this year. And the more I learn, the more that I see that it has become trendy to abort your kids. I mean, it's really sad. I mean, I don't see why everyone has this mentality that they don't have to, especially women out there. They think that they don't have to pay any responsibility for their actions, man. People these days try to find a way to get away from taking responsibility for their own actions. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's trendy to abort your kids. It's wrong in the eyes of God, and you need to pick a side. It's either you're on God's side or you're on the world's conformist satanic side. And there's no shade of gray. There is no I had to do it, and there is no, I mean, there is a line that is drawn in the sand. Whether you're on the side of good or you're on the side of bad, you cannot make an excuse or a cop-out for that. But, I mean, for guys like Matthew Staver, who have been pro-life for, like, I don't know how long, he has to be so exhausted from fighting against people like this. But they're actually winning now. So, I mean, the fight, like I tell everyone, to endure till the end, man. He who endures. You see what I mean? Like, we might not be winning on every front, but you have to endure, my friend. He who endures will win the battle, no doubt. The U.S. Supreme Court abortion cases are an aberration to law and stand on an island by themselves, and that island will one day disappear, he said. After all, it was the original Roe v. Wade decision that legalized abortion throughout the United States that noted should the personhood of the unborn be established, abortion advocacy would disintegrate, since the unborn then would be qualified for all the protections offered by the U.S. Constitution. I mean, when Alex Jones says, do you think God's going to let us get away with 60,000 abortions? I mean, that's not just sad, but scary to think. God says that you rather see a fool in his folly than his terror. I think that's what it says. His terror is like a bear. His terror is like a bear that has lost its cub. That is what the wrath of God looks like when it's going to come and get you. It is a gigantic bear coming to maul you because it thinks you took its kid. That's exactly what God acts like when you take his kids. When you mess with God's kids, he's going to come at you like a bear, my friend. I mean, it's scary to think about all the aborted kids in this country because you don't think God is angry at us for that. That is absolutely a fact that God is not happy with us for that. And you cannot mock God. You can only reap what you harvest. That's all. That is all. And I'm not here to defend God, because God can defend himself, obviously. But I'm just saying, for your sake, you should be on our side. You shouldn't be on the yuppie side of not ever being responsible for your own actions, advocating all your responsibilities, and being this childlike zombie that doesn't want to live in real life, man. You want to be a dummy living in the Matrix, where the government tells you, lean on me. You need the government to wipe your butt. You need the government to feed you with a little spoon and a bib. You're a child. You're a child, okay? You act like a child. You need to grow up. There is a time where people need to grow up. And it doesn't mean be like this like stale, boring old man. It means take responsibility, people. Do what the founding fathers told you that was supposed to be done. You need to be an independent person. The moment you lose your independence, the moment you do that, is the moment the tyrant knows your guard is down and he could take over your life. What is going on now? Can you do your own math? It's easy. It's easy. It really is. Liberty Counsel said its brief provided the Alabama Supreme Court with a thorough historical review of legal protection for unborn children dating from ancient Greece to the present day. The group said common law in England and the United States, with support from the medical and legal professions, recognized that life is the immediate gift of God, a right inherent in every individual, and it begins in contemplation of law as soon as an infant is able to stir it in the mother's womb. This understanding remained the prevailing view in the United States through the middle of the 20th century, when a societal shift prompted a liberation of criminal laws, including restrictions against abortion, culminating in the abortion cases Roe v. Wade, 410 U.S. 113, 1973, and Doe v. Bolton, 410 U.S. 179, 1973, in which the Supreme Court held that unborn children are not persons protected by the right to life set forth in the Constitution. That is a lie from the devil, my friend. In a report on WTVY in Alabama, State Attorney General Luther Strange praised the resolution. He praised it because he's praising Satan. The court has ratified our argument that the public policy of our state is to protect life, both born and unborn, he said. Wait. Actually, General Luther Strange praised the resolution. He's actually a good guy, then. He knows that we went the wrong way. It is a tremendous victory that the Alabama Supreme Court has affirmed the value of all life, including those of unborn children, whose lives are amongst the most vulnerable of all. According to records, Ancram and her... unborn children of yuppies are the most vulnerable of all. No duh. Because their parents are a bunch of yuppies that don't accept the responsibility of real life. You want to go and be sloppy, and then you want to absolutely, without having to sugarcoat it, murder your own children. That is an absolute disease, like prayerlessness. If you're not praying all the time, you are in a diseased state of being. You are oppressed. You are spiritually oppressed. No wonder you're so negative. No wonder you're such a control freak. No wonder you need everyone to be as miserable as you. No wonder you need to talk crap about everyone around you because you're just so miserable. All of the things that you see in society, the sadism, the cruelty, all of this is because of the prayerlessness. All of this is because of ungodliness. It's all because of that. You need to go back to, if you want to solve a problem, you go to the root of the problem to solve it. The root of the problem is the unspiritual, Americanized society that we have now. It's not even that it's Americanized, it's what it is. The American society that we live amongst is a dumbed down, irresponsible, government-dependent, sociopathic bunch of yuppies. What do you call it? If you live in Southern California, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because I know that some states are worse than others. But if you're in Southern California next to Hollywood, California, you know that people out here are the most peer pressure driven, emotionally governed people you have ever met in your life. Let's see. Let me just read this without getting too crazy on y'all. According to records, Ancram and her newborn son both tested positive for cocaine when the child was born in 2000. She was on probation for a year. Kimbrough's son was born in 2008 and died 19 minutes later. His cause of death was acute methamphetamine intoxication, and she was sentenced to 10 years, which she deserves. She got her kid killed by acute methamphetamine intoxication. I mean, how screwed up are people where their unborn children are coked out of their minds to the point where they die 18 seconds, 19 minutes later after they're born? That is inhuman, man. When you don't care about your own kids to the point where you're willing to let them die in front of you just for the sake of you not giving a crap. I mean, you're the one that should be dead, in my opinion. You're the one that should be dead, not that unborn kid. I mean, it's just disgusting, man. You're disgusting human beings out there that don't take care of yourselves while you're pregnant. I mean, women these days are like the most unempowered people, man, ever. I mean, you're just so copped out. Oh, I'm this defenseless woman. I don't have to take responsibility because I'm just stupid. I don't know right from wrong. Cop out. And then you want to go around and fucking, there I did. I cussed. I ruined it. Thank you, women. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and try to read this article without getting crazy on you guys. Because, I mean, when it comes to natural, I mean, if you were a Christian like me and your mom read you Christian Bible stories before you went to sleep, you would have all of this engraved in your brain. You see, I mean, but then again, I guess I can't be too hard on all of you because we're not all the same. We don't all go through the same route in life to find out these things. But for you people out there who don't even have the common sense or even there's no compassion in this world no more when your unborn kids are being absolutely slaughtered and thrown into buckets for them to just die in a room with no care at all. We're going into North Korea, my friend. But then this guy right here, he shows you hope, because there are people out there who are in the they're in the law, they're into the law and into like being judges and all that, but they are actually doing the right thing. Previously, the same court suggested that states simply reject the concept of pre-viability abortion at will that comes from Roe v. Wade until the U.S. Supreme Court overrules the precedent. In a powerful statement that appears to affirm the concept of personhood movement, through which pro-life advocates seek to have states recognize the unborn as persons, a concurrence in a case result from Justice Tom Parker since Roe was described in 1973, advances in medical and scientific technology have greatly expanded our knowledge of prenatal life. The development of ultrasound technology has enhanced medical and public understanding, allowing us to watch the growth and development of the unborn child in a way previous generations could never have imagined, he wrote. Similarly, advances in genetics and related fields make clear that a new and a unique human being is formed at the moment of conception, when two cells incapable of independent life merge to form a single individual human entity. He continued, of course, that new life is not yet mature. Growth and development are necessary before that life can survive independently, but it is nonetheless human life, and here has been a broad legal consensus in America, even before Roe, that the life of a human being begins at conception. His concurrence continued, an unborn child is a unique and individual human being from conception, and therefore he or she is entitled to the full protection of law at every stage of development. I mean, there are different levels of evil in the human eye. All sin in the eyes of the Lord is the same. But to us humans, we always seem to make ranks amongst what all of these sins are. But if you want to go read this, because I'm going to be out of time right now because I ranted so much, you could go read, which is not too much, the rest of this article, Court Rules Unborn Child, WND Faith.